everyone, welcome back to Unapologetically Pookie. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff going on. I have some crazy stories to tell you that happened this week. People are kind of, it's crazy. So we went to Portland this last weekend, and we went up to the Moda Center. We see shows all the time. It was myself, Mr. Pookie, and Ireland. Ireland's my oldest, and she's 22, so she'll be 23 next year. But she still lives at home with us because, as you guys know, it is very expensive to get an apartment. She could get an apartment with other people, but she's very particular and picky. And so her and her sister want to kind of move out together. But I was like, girls, just save money. Just wait. I mean, you're fine staying here. It's not that big of a deal. You can help around the house or whatever. And so for her to like kind of pay her way through, like she pays other stuff and she buys her groceries and all the things, but she likes to buy us tickets. So if there's like a concert, a comedy show or whatever, she'll just buy tickets. I'll just be like, hey, I want to see this person. Do you want to come with us? And she'll buy tickets. She loves comedy now as well. So we drove up to Portland at the Moda Center, and I don't mind the Moda Center. Like, it's, a big arena or whatever, and so it's lots of people. It's so crowded. But we went in, we parked in one of the like little garages and stuff, and I can definitely tell that they kind of switched I don't know, ownership or whatever. So when we went, we were like, whoa, it is way different. There actually are people in the parking garage because a lot of people were getting their windows busted out and stuff like that. And so you can definitely tell that they have been taking great care to like take care of everybody in the parking garage, because seriously, the parking garage, you guys, I think I paid $37 just to park. So she'll buy like all the tickets and stuff like that. And I usually buy dinner, and I'll pay obviously for gas and parking. Because you guys know it can be super expensive, just tickets alone, just to even purchase tickets to go places. And so plus gas and, parking. I can't believe it's like almost $40 to park. Sometimes it has been over $40 to park. So we had a blast. It was so much fun. So much fun. We love to do it. We're going back again quite often. We have a lot of like shows and stuff we're going to. So the show was wonderful. Everything was great. The security, the staff, you can just tell everything is just way better than it was. So we go back into the parking garage, right? And I'm loving it because now you have people stopping traffic and then letting people through, and then stopping traffic and letting people through. Has anybody gone to like a big arena or some place where there is a lot of people, and after you get back to your car, I don't know what it is, but everyone was so sweet and kind, and it's great. And then as soon as people get into their cars, I see like it's like people start to become way different people when it comes to getting out of like these parking garages. People are just like running each other over, just like there are the nice people that like let people through. I'm always that type of person when it's like traffic. I will be the first person to be like, no, go ahead, because you just let them through, like courtesy, So this is a part where I hate, like driving up there, not a big deal, but coming home, you guys, it was crazy. So we get into the parking lot and I'm like, oh my gosh. So I usually drive. Mr. Pookie is like my passenger princess. I love to drive, and I'm kind of like a control freak when it comes to driving. So I like to take control over driving. But when it comes at nighttime, I'm like, I don't want to deal with these crazy people going all over the place and stuff. So I'm like, you'll drive. So we walk up to our car, and I'm like noticing that there's this big SUV, and they have cones everywhere, right? Because we're trying to keep people this way and this way, so it's very easy to get in and out. We are all pretty much all going on the freeway at this point, but they have it in such ways where I'm like, this is so amazing. It was never like this at the other ownership. I love the fact that they're literally like directing traffic so we can get out of there in a nice orderly manner, which is so good because no one's doing that. Everyone's just like, oh. And when you're in the traffic, the little whatever parking area, people are like, they're not going 5 miles an hour or 2 miles an hour. They don't even care. They get in their car and they're just like, I don't care if I run anybody over or hit a car. I mean, it stresses me out. I've seen so much like, oh my gosh, just get me out of this place. Like, I get stressed when it comes to parking garages after an event because it's chaotic. You guys know, if you've ever been through it, you know. So we're walking and there's a cone and this guy just runs over the cone. And we're like, whoa. Before he runs over the cone, I'm like trying to be like, stop. And they're just looking at me like, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm trying to help you not mess up your car because I know, sir, that you're headed to the freeway and you're going to have that big cone around you, you know, around your tire, up in your thing, because they had run it over. At this point, I was like, oh my God, and they just kept going, They're just like, I'm like, why are people so rude? I'm like trying to help your car, because once you get up on the freeway, oh, good luck. Like, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, it's gonna bust something or it's gonna flip up, it's gonna hit somebody on the freeway. Like, who knows, right? The possibilities of what could happen are endless because it is stuck up in your wheel now. And they're just like, and everyone's like, oh my God, what the heck? And I'm like, I try to do my duty and be sweet and kind and try to help you, but if you don't want to help yourself, well, you can just kiss my booty, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, well, whatever. And then the lady that was doing traffic, she can see that he's literally taking the cone and he's just dragging it to get out. And she's like, back up. And they're like, hello, how do you not see the freaking cones? Like, what are you doing? Get off your phone for one, you know, pay attention for two. We all want to get out of there because it's chaotic and it's crazy. It's late, you know, we got to work the next day. We get it. But if everybody would just be paying attention and then, you know, doing things in an orderly fashion, that would never happen. So she makes them thing and she's like ripping the cone. She's like, and I'm like, I told you. Thank goodness that she saw it, because I'm like, I mean, as soon as you get out, you head right to the freeway. And so who knows? So I'm like, oh gosh. So I'm like, okay, let's get the heck out of here. So we pull out, we get on the freeway, and we're still in city. So Portland, all the city lights, there's like over the bridge, and there's like, you know, big buildings everywhere because it's kind of like not downtown Portland-ish, but it's over the bridge. It's in the middle of the city pretty much. And so there's tons of city lights and stuff, and I'm like, gosh, it just seems so dark to me, but it didn't really feel as dark. And as we started to get going further and further and further out of the city, I'm like, can you see? It's dark. And Mr. Pookie's like, yeah, I don't know, you know. And we start to go, and then I'm like, I don't think my headlights are working. And then he's like, and I didn't even think that my backlights were working. And I'm like, started to kind of panic because I was like, okay, it's starting to get it's super dark, but there's not a lot of people, and we're on the freeway at this point because we're getting out of Portland and back towards home. I'm thinking, are we like in the dark? Are we in the dark? And so Mr. Pookie was a little freaking out a little bit too. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, we need to like pull over. So we pull over, and he's like, okay, turn on your blinkers. My blinkers were both working, and my brakes were working. But I think what would happen was my two lights had went out, like my two main driver's lights went out, whether it was like, he thinks it's a fuse or they just burnt out, which is so crazy because we literally just put, it's so funny. It's like my car was like, nah, you put new tires on me, right? So I just, the following day we put brand new tires on my car, which is not cheap. And then, you know, we did oil because Mr. Pookie changes oil. So he went and got oil. And then we replaced my wiper blades because 'tis the season, like it's coming. Oregon, it's rainy. And so I needed some new wiper, you know, blades and stuff like that. And then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, thanks car. You know, now it's like, okay, you spent all this money on, you know, buying new tires and oil and all this. And now it's time to buy new headlights, which is so crazy because we just replaced them last year. So Mr. Pookie's fixing them. He's figuring out what's going on, but I'm like, oh my gosh. So we finally figured out, like, okay, we've got, you know, blinkers are working, all the lights were working, just my drivers. And so what happened, it went on to kind of like, emergency mode, so it would have my fog lights on and I think something else, but my main headlights they weren't working. So it was for me, it was a little scary because we were pretty much driving in the dark, and so we live out in the country, and so as we're going, you know, I'm like, oh my gosh, we were visible, but it wasn't optimal, you know. And for me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I cannot see, and we're, you know, swervy, curvy, and I'm thinking, oh my gosh. So we'd use our and my brights were working, so, but you couldn't use your brights all the time, so thank goodness we live out in the country so we can use our brights for most of the time. But that was scary. I was like, oh my gosh. But other than that, it was like a wonderful weekend, and we had so much fun. So either I have to buy new headlights, which is so crazy. We just bought them. I feel like nothing is made like it was back in the day, you know? Like, if you still have a refrigerator back in the day, it's still working. I feel like you buy something and you're gonna get maybe 2-3 years out of it, and then you have to go buy another one. So I don't know, he thinks it's a fuse, so he's trying to find where that fuse is, or my lights are burnt out and we'll have to buy new lights. But I'm like, really? But you know, I gotta have lights, and we have some more trips planned very soon. So I'm like, okay, at least it's lights, nothing big deal, you know. But dang, so that was kind of scary this last weekend. And then for those of you guys that know, if you watch my other channel, Pookie's View, I was telling you guys that we're redoing kind of the whole house. We're repainting, and we've been in here. This is a newer house, so we're the first people that own this house. And after a while, like, you know, I just want to refresh the paint, and so I picked out all my paint. And you guys know it took me a little while to pick out the paint. We went to Sherwin-Williams, and there was a paint color that I wanted. It's like, I forget the color. It's like a gray green. It's really popular. It's in their signature colors, which brings a higher price, right? So I'm like, okay, well, we're going to redo the whole house, and that's a lot of money. And so I knew that Lowe's had Sherwin-Williams paint. So I was like, well, what we'll do is I'll just go grab that paint swab, and then we will go ahead and we'll find something that's similar to it. So we're doing white like on the top, and then we're doing chair railing, kind of like really pretty design on the bottom, and that's going to be like that grayish green, and then all the trim's going to be green, and the doors are going to be green. It's going to look really, really pretty. And so we went to Home Depot just to kind of look to see, and I picked out colors just in case the Lowe's didn't have it, because I know Home Depot had like William, you know, whatever, they had good paint, you know. So I was like, I want to be budget friendly here. So it took me about 2 weeks to pick this paint out, like to find the colors of what I wanted. And then it took probably another 2 to 3 hours going back to the stores, trying to figure out exactly, you know, the Sherwin-Williams, I think it's Willow Oak I think is what it's called, or something like that, and to match it kind of perfectly. And I found my match, right? I found it at Lowe's. I found it at Home Depot, but I found one that was like almost to the exact T at Lowe's. And I'm like, okay, sweet. Now it's busy, whatever. Everyone's doing home projects because weather's starting to turn. So instead of working outside, you kind of work inside. And it was really busy. I'm like, not a big deal, not a big deal, whatever. We'll look around the Halloween decorations. We'll look at all different kinds of stuff. It's not a big deal. So after hours of picking this paint up and paint out and stuff and figuring out what one I wanted and what Sherwin-Williams paint I wanted and kind of like pricing it out, I was like, sold, done. This is going to be great, right? So excited. So they're super busy and I'm just waiting, and finally the paint guy is like, hey, and I was like, hey, I want, and we got the big, tubs of paint, and I was like, okay, I want white, which is easy, and then I want, this paint color. And he's like, okay, no problem. He's like, I'm really busy right now. Come back to me like 15 minutes or whatever. And I was like, not a problem. Not a problem. So I give him about 20 minutes and we're walking, and I go back and I'm like, oh, well, the paint's not there. Because usually after they, do the paint, they put it on this little area and you can just grab and go, right? And I'm like, okay. And I don't see anybody at the counter. And I'm like, okay, not a big deal. Like, I have so much patience, you guys. So I'm like, not a big deal. It's fine. So I'm like, he probably just had to get away, do something because they were slammed. And I get it. Like, so we go, and we come back another 10 minutes. And I see him, but I don't see my stuff. And I'm kind of like... But he's busy, and I'm kind of like trying to like, hey, but I don't want to bug him because he's super busy. So I'm like, whatever, another 10 minutes, whatever. It's like 45 minutes that we're waiting. And finally I see him and he's just standing there. And I'm like, I go, hey, he goes, oh, hey, I was looking for you guys. And I'm thinking, okay. I've been kind of like, kind of hovering over here every like 10 to 15 minutes. But he was like, I lost your paint samples. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, I don't know where they went. I lost them. Like, I had them here and they're gone. So someone must have thrown them away or whatever. So we waited 45 minutes at Lowe's, and my paint samples are no more. And I'm like, kind of having a little mini panic attack because I was like, it took me 3 hours to do the paint swatches. And now I'm thinking, oh my gosh. Like, I'm going back thinking, okay, where was and I have no idea. And we're like looking, because when you look at paint swatches, it can be overwhelming. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then I'm like, oh no. And I'm like freaking out. He's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, it's fine. Though I was like, oh heck no. And then I remembered I took a picture of it. That's why, like, you take a picture of everything. I remembered I took a picture of it and it had the number. And I was like, oh my gosh, here it is. And he goes, I am so sorry. And I like took his hand. I said, you're going to give me a really good discount, right? And everyone's like, okay, Pookie, of course, like you to be like, hey, because I had been there now for like over an hour waiting. And I mean, I know it's not his fault, but I'm like, dude, this is stressful. You stressing me out. He's like, girl, I'll give you like a massive. I was like, yes, you will. Oh, just the panic. And so he did it. I think that time it only took like 10 minutes and we didn't move. Like we were just like, I've been looking around your store for like an hour now. I want to get my paint and go home. And so we stay there, we wait. And he gave me that huge paint bucket for $50. So I was like, okay, that's worth it. Because it's not cheap, it's like over $100. Sometimes it'd be like $250 for one of those big, big old buckets of paint. So he gave it to me for $50 and I was like, thank you so much. So that was another thing that happened to me this week. I was like, oh my gosh, it's so stressful, but luckily everything worked out, you know. And thank goodness I take pictures of everything, because I'm taking pictures and I'm sending it to the girls, and because they're going to help me paint and stuff. So we haven't painted yet. It's just been we've been so busy, and every time we like schedule out a weekend to do it, something comes up, or we're like, oh, it's so nice, let's just, you know, go do this or go do that, or grocery shopping or whatever, you know, life happens. And so I'm like, okay, well, it's the middle of October, so we got to get it together, because I need to start decorating for Christmas, you know, not soon, but I want everything to be all done. And so hopefully we'll get it done, but it's gonna look super pretty. I'll vlog. A lot of you guys were asking if I would vlog and kind of show you how I do my designing is something that I absolutely love. I love designing rooms and stuff like that, so we've been kind of redoing things or here or there, because I haven't really redone anything in like a few years. So when you're in your house, you know, constantly, I mean, we get out and stuff, but you know what I mean, it's just, you need that like refresh. I need new paint just to refresh. So I'm super excited to do that. But you guys, has that happened to you guys? Because man, I was just like freaking out, because I was like, oh my gosh, it took me so long to pick out that right paint color, and then to try to sit there and and the lighting in Lowe's is so bad. So I'm like running over here and going in this light, because you guys know paint color looks different in different lights, right? So I'm taking all these paint colors and looking them underneath like a kitchen light. Then I'm going like out in the garden and I'm looking at, because we have windows, and so one time it's going to like this, it's going to look like this. So I want to make sure that it's that right color that kind of matches that Sherwin-Williams color. So it took a long time. Mr. Pookie's like, oh my God, he's so patient. He's like the patient person. He's so patient. He's the most patient guy I've ever met. And so it was just like, oh my gosh. But we got everything at home, so all we have to do is just paint, and I cannot wait. But it's just been crazy. Miss Ireland's been sick. She's been sick for like 2 weeks. She just started feeling better a few days ago, because everyone's got like, it was like a flu, and then it was like a cold, and then I'm like, oh my gosh. We've been like taking, Mr. Pookie and I have been taking emergency, like we've been doing everything we possibly can, because I'm like, absolutely not. In Ireland, you know, she works with kids, so 'tis the season where everybody's starting to get sick and stuff. Last year she didn't get as sick, but it seems like, dang, right off the bat, she's already, I'm like, no more. I think you're done for the rest of, you know, this season, and then we're done. So she's starting to feel better and stuff, and thank goodness, because I'm like, oh, and we've so far, knock on wood, we've been pretty good about not getting anything. There was one week or one day last week where I was kind of like, ooh, feeling a little like, you can feel your body like, okay, something's happened. And I was like, oh no, but my body was like, all right, let's do this. So we've been like vitamins and eating all healthy, and I don't want to get, no ma'am. So, but she's feeling better, thank goodness. But we've just been kind of doing all different kinds of stuff. We've been, now that she's better, we have tons of like little concerts and comedy shows this month and next month. So we've been pretty busy. I like to just plan things. It just makes me feel good. It's like you work or you do this, or you're like, oh, in the midst of whatever, and then you have this like little like, woo, you know, fun thing. But I definitely need to get ready to finish painting. So I'll definitely take you guys along on that journey with us on the other channel. But this is kind of what's been happening this week. I had to tell you guys that story because, oh my gosh, that was a little crazy about going home with no lights. So hopefully he can, I mean, it's either a fuse or I need new bulbs. So not a big deal, but I'm like, we're going to another show really soon, like really soon. And so I'm like, okay, I need lights. I need my headlights. So I usually drive at night or in the daytime. So I never really drive at nighttime really. And so I don't know how long it's been. if it's burnt out or if my fuse is out or whatever. So he should fix that and then it should be all good. I am vlogging. We are going to do something super fun, Mr. Pookie and I. So I'll be vlogging our little trip and then I'll have that on my other channel, Pookie's View. We're super excited. Mr. Pookie and I really love to like go do fun things with each other and just like go out and just get away from everybody and just kind of, and he works so hard, so it's kind of nice for us to just kind of get away and before the weather's starting to change, because pretty soon it's going to be snowy and rainy and you kind of gotta be stuck kind of where we are. Especially being like kind of out in the country, just depending on like weather, and there's like so many like you know, mountains and all different kinds, so it can get kind of crazy here, like over the passes and stuff like that. There's tons of snow, so we want to get out and do one of our like last little trips. We have a few trips planned. We're gonna go to the King Tides. I did a vlog last year. We have King Tides again this coming year, so we love it. It is so much fun. I love the beach anyway, so any chance I can go to the beach, I love it. But it's like when the waves get really high, so I feel like that's going to be like our annual trip. I love to watch the King Tides because I literally can just sit out on the deck and just watch the ocean for hours and never be bored. You know, when you're old, is because it's like stuff like that. You're just content with just looking outside, watching the birds. Like all my kids are like, this is so, what do you do? And I'm like, oh, we walk the beach, we hike, and we just sit and watch the ocean. They're like, that is so boring. And back in the day when I was younger, oh yeah, I'd be like, that's it. Oh, and now as you get older, it's just like, oh, it's so relaxing. I can do it for hours and never get bored. So, you know, I'm getting old when I'm just like, yeah, sitting on the back porch, front porch, just watching nature. It's amazing. It's like the best thing. I'm not bored at all. So, you know, I'm definitely getting older, but I love it. It's like I think as you get older, the more simple things, just easy things, you just appreciate so much more. Like, don't get me wrong, I love to do all the fun stuff and be active and, you know, go, but it's kind of nice to just relax and chill and just watch the ocean or birds or whatever, listen to the nature sounds. Yeah, I'm so old, but I love it. I love it. Well, I hope everybody has an amazing week ahead. I'll be back again with more podcasts. I think this week we'll start doing 2 now that Ireland's better, and I'll have her on because we have a fun thing that we want to talk about with you guys. But she's been sick for 2 weeks, so she's been trying to get better, and she's better. Mr. Pookie's crazy busy right now, so yeah, you know, it's the season of life where it's just like it's starting to speed up and get crazy busy. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and spending your time with me. I know time is very important, especially as we get into the busier months. So I appreciate you guys. Take care, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.